How did I turn this into this? Let me show you. These emerald green satin napkins are wrapped in glam, just as I like it. They didn't start this way, so let's do some DIY to go from start to finish. First, we'll begin with the napkins folded in half, folded again, and you can do this randomly. You wrap them inside of the napkin rings, place some more ornaments inside. Those are pearl stems. I'm speeding this version up, and then I will slow everything down and explain step by step. Look how lovely they are. And this set comes in 12 satin napkins. I'll be using 4 for this tablescape. The satin material in itself is already elegant, and so it sets the tone for the entire tablescape for a glam luxe look. Let's begin by taking one satin napkin, folding it in half, smoothing it out, and then after we do that, we can flip it over, make sure the ends and edges of the satin napkin align. Once you've folded it in half, you can place a diagonal fold on both sides to where it looks like an open triangle at the end, or one of those paper toy airplanes. You fold that over onto itself twice, and you will come out with a napkin that looks kind of like a petal at the top. We'll take one of the napkin rings and wrap it around that satin napkin, attach it at the back with the Velcro. Using one of the pearl sticks, slide it into the napkin ring, and this pearl stick has a white stem or branch with pearls that are rose gold, silver, and white. Just checking in. Still with me? Okay, let's keep going. Making a tablescape only needs patience and creativity, and you can infuse your own personal style to have that custom look. Moving on to the second napkin that we will custom design, fold that satin napkin in half and take one end and cross it diagonally, meeting the other end also crossed diagonally, similar to how we did the first one, where you make that paper airplane or open triangle at the back or at the bottom. But then at the bottom of the napkin, you will fold those two ends diagonally as well, to where each 4 of the diagonal ends meet in the middle. Fold that over onto itself. Be sure to press throughout with each fold, and if you need to start over, then that's okay, just begin again. A tablescape is a great way to impress guests if hosting or just dining at home by yourself or with a loved one. It's your home, it's your time. We don't have to have our home all decked out, so to speak, when we are hosting or have guests coming. We can also do it just for ourselves because we also matter. Continuing with this second napkin, we folded it in half, diagonally crossed it, folded it onto itself again. We're going to take the napkin ring, and these are napkin rings that are gold. We used these for our wedding a few years ago, and I still have them. And so we'll wrap the napkin ring around the napkin, and at the top, fluff out the napkin like a rose petal. It's going to look very chic. Next, take one of the pearl picks or stems and slide it into that napkin ring. And voila, look how pretty that is. And this pearl pick is not multicolored, it's all gold. And we will place that onto the charger plate. And later those charger plates will go beneath the plates and bowls when we set the table. Moving on to the next napkin. I always tell my patients that a cluttered physical space leads to a cluttered mental space. Clean out your mental space, clean out your physical space. Be in an environment that is inspiring physically, because that will also translate over to inspiration mentally, motivation as well. Our physical space does affect our mental space and vice versa. Our mental space also has an effect on our physical space. With this napkin, I made it unintentionally longer than the others. I can either pivot and work with what I have and continue revising, or I can start again. I folded the napkin in half as I did with the previous two, and wanted to do a different design, something random, so that each napkin has its own look. They will still match, but not be matchy-matchy. While I still want each napkin to have a similar length, I will have to fold this lengthier napkin because of the way I folded it in the beginning made it longer. So we're going to pivot here and just revise what I did by folding part of it at one end, and then we'll take a napkin ring and wrap it around that end that we just folded. These napkin rings can be used for anything. Napkins, votive holders, candle holders, vase or vase holders, glassware holders, whatever it will fit on. It just gives a higher or more elevated level of design, of glam, of custom personal touch. As I stated, each of the napkins will have its own look. And so this one, rather than one ring, it looks like I'm going to do 2 rings here. But again, this napkin is just so lengthy. So I'll have to continue revising it by just removing what I can with the napkin holder so that I can refold or fold more on one end. I'll reattach that napkin ring at that end, and I'll go in and continue working on this napkin. When DIYing, creativity as well as patience are both needed. There is something soothing about decorating, designing, organizing, cleaning, just preparing the home. And I have mentioned before how I love, and everything that I do is with love and out of love. It comes from a place of love all the time. And as they say, love is in the details, and it truly is. I believe that. So when I am meticulous about the cleanliness or the organization or the design and decor, it is out of personal preference, but also out of love as well. I am still fumbling with this napkin, so I'm going to set it to the side. Actually, you know what? I will not set it to the side just yet. I want to continue working on it right now instead of saving it for later. So instead, I will add another napkin ring to this napkin. I said before that each one will have its own look, and this one is longer, so I had to fold one of the ends to shorten it and be aligned with the previous two. And those previous 2 napkins have 1 napkin ring wrapped around it. This one has 1, 2, 3 napkin rings wrapped around it. And that is what I mean about designing it to your preference, your style, your desire. Just make sure when using the napkin rings that they are all facing one way with the attachment. In this case, it's a Velcro attachment at the back of it, and it's not showing. Now we can set that one to the side and start on the next napkin. Question: what are some things that you do that feel relaxing, soothing, calming to you? If at first you don't succeed, try again. And that's the whole point. That's actually a metaphor for life. If it doesn't work out the first time, try it again. Maybe a different approach when you try it again. Let's fold it in half. Take one side and pin it down on a diagonal at the center, and take the other side and repeat. Pin it down on the side and a diagonal motion where they meet in the middle. It has that open triangle at the bottom, or that paper airplane almost look to it. Fold it onto itself. Make sure also after folding, and you may need to fold it twice, to smooth in between each fold. That's going to help the napkin lay flat. See how mine just opened up because it wasn't all the way smooth through. So again, we're just going to try it again. Fold it in half, then take both ends to diagonally cross them where they meet in the center. Fold that onto itself and take one of the napkin rings to attach it onto the napkin, and keeping the Velcro attachment at the back of it. And with this napkin ring, we're going to push it up from the bottom to the center of that napkin and wrap around beaded garland. And so we'll cut off a piece of that beaded garland, wrap it around the napkin, and it can go on the top or bottom of the napkin ring. In this case, I am going to put it here for now on the bottom of the napkin ring, wrap it around and tie it kind of like a shoelace. And with this napkin, I did not align each corner of the napkin when I folded it to be exact because I wanted the top to have a flared look. I'm now taking that beaded garland and I moved it from the bottom of the napkin ring to the top, and I'm just tying it in place here. Make sure it's all snug and together, and we can set that to the side. I know what you've been waiting for, and it's time for the tablescape. Using a rectangular shaped tablecloth and a toasted ivory color to cover the glass table, we will drape this tablecloth onto the table. Line it up and make sure it's all in order. Next, I will take this very beautiful glittered, beaded, gold colored table runner, also in a rectangular shape. It's very, very long, so I will need to fold it in half before draping it across the table, or draping it across me. Don't be surprised if you see me wearing this table runner as a scarf or a shawl. When selecting a tablecloth and table runner, I'd recommend selecting something in a longer length than the table actually is to add more design, dimension, elegance as well. It's best to have too much material because you can revise it, fold it, tuck it, whereas if you have too short of material, you can't stretch that. So length here is important. I like to design with similar tones or undertones and colors. So the table runner is a different color, a bit darker than the tablecloth itself. Still in the same color palette or color family, but not so matchy-matchy. These charger plates are another example. They are gold. They match our beautiful napkin rings that we used earlier for the napkins. And so everything will come together. I have these pine cones, and if you watched the Christmas tree decorating video, you saw how I colored them with glitter and my golden glitter to give it pizzazz. We will add cutlery to the table. They are white and gold. Put on the larger plates. Set those onto the charger plate. The way we use coasters for cups and glasses, we use charger plates for our plates. And these plates come in white and they have this really beautiful diamond design on them. The larger plates as well as these smaller plates and the bowls as well. And so what we'll do is set the charger plate, set the larger plate on top of that, and then place the smaller plates onto the larger plate. I have these heart-shaped ramekins that I bought for baking creme brulee, which I love. It's my favorite dessert. You can use these for anything, and they look really good on this table as well. You can add nuts in there, candies, or anything you want. Here's an up-close and personal view of one of the napkins we designed. That beautiful, rich emerald green color with the golden napkin rings wrapped around, the pearl picks, as well as beaded garland. I also have these napkins in ivory. I opted to go with the emerald green in this case for this tablescape because it might be too much of that lighter color and we need something to ground it, and this green does that perfectly. Here are more up close and personal views of the napkins we designed. And so I'm going to place one of the pearl picks inside of the napkin ring. Oh, so pretty! The table is really coming together. Let's place the glasses on there. Before placing the glasses though, we will add coasters beneath each glass. And these coasters are square shaped, glittered gold colored, and they fit perfectly with the undertones for this design. While I don't drink alcohol, never have, I like the look of the wine glasses. Also, I drink my non-alcoholic beverages in these glasses. Again, treat yourself, romanticize your life. Now I will take another satin napkin and place it in a different location on the table. So let's fold it in half, fold that on top of itself, and once we press it out, remember you have to press the creases, press it, I'll fold it again just to shorten that length and place that folded napkin beneath the larger plate. So it'll go between the charger and larger plate and will hang there. But actually I don't want it there right now. I'm going to put it over on the other side. Looking good. Okay, now let's do the previous plate again. Setting this table or making a tablescape might sound or seem small or minor, but it's really not. It's something that I set out to do. I wanted to do it and I am doing it. I get a sense of pleasure and joy from anything that I set out to do and accomplish it. Next, we will take 3 golden color candlesticks of varying heights, small, medium, and large, and place them on the center of the table on top of the table runner. From the Christmas tree decorating video, I mentioned using sets of odd numbers such as 3, 5, 7 helps to add symmetry, dimension, and interest for the eye. The white and gold cutlery will now be placed onto the table on the outer sides of the plate settings. As I was stating about goal setting is that this applies to any goal setting. Setting goals for education, career, starting a business, traveling, becoming healthy physically and mentally, starting a wellness journey, mending relationships, or building new relationships. Whatever the goal is, when you actually work on it consistently, intentionally, and accomplishment, there is a sense of satisfaction. I will do something different here with the napkins. I will place the cutlery inside of the napkin rings. Let's have a look at our cutlery inside of the napkin ring and place it onto the table. But you know what? Let's get one more look. It's just so pretty how it all fits and sits together. Okay, one more look and then we'll sit it onto the table. This tablescape wasn't made for others. It wasn't made for guests. It was made for me. It was made for my home. It was made for something my husband and I to enjoy together. And that is exactly what it means when you matter to yourself. To do things that feel good to you and for you without only doing it for the sole purpose of pleasing others. One more napkin with the cutlery inside of it, and it'll be the one with the 3 napkin rings. There's a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment when you do something you initially set out to do. And this could be anything in life, something major, something minor. And by the way, even the small things are actually big things. These pine cones can be placed separately on the table. I also, however, used beaded garland to wrap 2 of the pine cones together. When you double it up, it adds even more interest. And you can lay them on the table, or you can hang them on the end of the table. At least I tried to hang it on the end of the table and tie it around, but you need something to hold it in place so that it doesn't fall to the floor. In this case, it was not going to work. I noticed that and just decided, instead of hanging it from the end of the table, to keep it on top of the table and just weave the beaded garland part of it through the 3 candlesticks. Be as fancy as you want to be. I also used silver glittered ribbon for doubling up the pine cones. There are numerous ways in which to make ornaments and design them or redesign them to your personal preference and style. Go with what looks and feels good for you. Some minor adjustments here, such as moving the cutlery from the plate to sit flush with the table, and generally making space by moving some things over. Here's another up close and personal. This one is of the pine cones. You can see the gold sparkles from it. That's the glitter nail polish that I used. It pairs well also with the silver glittered ribbon tied around the top of it against the deep, rich, beautiful brown color of the pine cones themselves. Here is another pine cone that is a single one with a glass clear beaded garland tied around the top of it. That is the same glass beaded garland that was used earlier for one of the satin napkins. Don't get me wrong, we enjoy hosting and welcoming others in together. That's the bonus on top of our foundation. As soup will likely begin the meal, I am placing the spoon on the outer side of the plate setting because the soup will be consumed first, so the spoon will be on the outer side, making it easier to access. I've said in previous videos that soup begins every meal in Serbian culture. I've not eaten soup prior to a meal, but rather as a meal. However, I have adopted this now, perhaps not each time, however, more than previously. This table seats 6. I made plate settings for 4, and there are 2 of us who will be using it. At least unless or until we have guests to come and gather with us. While I'm not changing anything, I am making minor adjustments by moving some things around on the table, such as ensuring the napkins are tightly fit with the cutlery, the napkin rings, the pearl picks, as well as moving the glasses with the holders under the glasses around to be closer and within reach of the plate settings. Not too far, yet not too close either to the plates. And I'm going around the table to adjust and readjust in some cases the bowls, plates, cutlery, napkins, and glasses. Here's a sneak peek of this beautiful tablescape. The chairs will not be forgotten, so of course I had to decorate those as well by using large, oversized red bows with golden bells that actually jingle and a gold string to tie or wrap around the chair. And I placed these red bows on each of the chairs. The chairs have gold feet, black legs, and an ivory seat. And again, everything fits very well together in this color palette, from the ivories, the bronzes, the beiges, the golds, and that beautiful emerald green as well. Certainly not to forget the plates in this diamond-shaped white color with the brown pine cones and all of the beading and glitz and glitter that goes through some of these ornaments and decorations as well. When I'm designing, I opt for modern with a touch of glam. I look for soft, neutral colors that can fit in the same color palette, even if not the exact same color, as well as textures such as suedes, leathers, faux fur. I look for design elements with that touch of glam. It can be a metal such as gold, bronze, silver, and pair them together. You can mix the metals as well, and I do from time to time. I have here. Let's do a once over around the table for each of the plate settings. Still with me? Let's keep going. Those bronze golden candlestick holders are now complete with 3 tall, slender ivory colored candles. Let's light them. Recall the tree from the previous video in this holiday playlist of decorating the Christmas tree. We have our winter forest, snow frosted tree with our signs of love, the Serbian flag. There's the US flag on there. I've also tied ribbon and napkin rings around each of the curtains on the floor-to-ceiling windows. The table sits in front of the wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling window, and it's next to the tree that sits in front of the balcony door. Absolutely stunning! This design is elegant, beautiful, classy, just like me.